Evening, boys and girls. The fans' verdict, this was special fans' verdict, transfer targets, anything you want to talk about that you've seen, heard, or confirmed, get that through in the next half an hour. Introductions as ever, Sir Dunk and Mr. Wendover. Boys, thank you very much for joining us. We should get Danny Iron on shortly, hopefully, but I'm perfectly fine with what we got at the moment, put it that way. And we've got George Michael in the background as well. So once again, so guys, like I said, get all your transfer rumours and anything you want to talk about transfer related in right now. Boys, go ahead. I know you've got plenty to talk about. I've got a few targets I want to shout out, but yeah, let's go for it. Who wants to start?
Well, I would guess prior to Saturday we wouldn't be talking about a keeper, but I think that's probably where we're going to kick off today. I don't know if Duncan agrees. I thought prior to Saturday we'd probably make do with what we've got keeper-wise with Batman, who splits the room, but he is what he is. But now with his injury, it's all a little bit up in the air. You know, they've brought Miles Roberts back and delayed he was going to go on a second loan to SPL club.
Ross County's club it was.
Yeah, but they've gone out now and got another keeper on loan. So is Tom looking at him not as a view to being number two? Is he got him at London Coldly with a view to looking at him as a number one? Because what I saw of John Bond last night, I don't think he's right for the rest of the season. And I think he's a career understudy. I don't know what you boys think.
That's the thing. My entire scouting thing has been focused on goalkeepers, my end. So you can see here, this is on FBref, really good football database. This is actually Jonathan Bond during his 3 years at LA Galaxy when it was his longest stint as a first-team keeper, and you get some interesting trends from it, where you can see consistently he's a very good sweeper keeper. So he comes out, you can see leading the league in 22, 23, led the league for sweeping and averaging crosses. Even in his worst season, which is his last one before he joined us, in each of his seasons, he's consistently been a good sweeper, which was a surprising trend I noticed. And you saw that last night. He came out, swept. He got very lucky with a bad touch from the sweep. But he came out, he read the situation and tried to handle it. And you don't normally see Batman coming far off his line like that normally in that type of situation. You can also see, I'm not going to gloss over it, you can see his shot stopping generally is either average or below average. You can make an argument that here, this means he's facing a higher quality of shots than the average keeper in the league. And that you can see, as a result, absolutely tanked there. But that's so if you want Jonathan Bond as a baseline, there it is. We've been linked with 2 keepers so far. DiMarzio linked us with Jesse Jordan, Swedish international. I've heard about him for a while, and I do rate him quite highly. And Travers came out today, and I'm not quite as sold on him. I've got a couple of other options, but I think for now, if we've got time, I'll go to the other options I had in mind, but keep this limited time. I'll keep the ones we're linked with.
Yeah.
So, Jesse Jordan, Swedish international. Sorry, Finnish, sorry. I'm thinking of Dahlberg for some reason. But you can see here, he's been very solid shot stopper for them. They got promoted from Serie B last year. His contract runs out this year. And you see here, face a high quality of shots, kept an average amount of them out roughly, which given the quality of face is actually not a bad indicator. Average for kicking, nothing much to write about there. Surprisingly poor on crosses claimed there. But in other years, where are you? In its shot-stopping radar here, good amount of percentage saved, good amount of crosses claimed, fairly safe passer, positionally very good. And then from his previous year, similar idea, good cross, good amount of passing. There it doesn't play a high line. Stays quite close to his line there.
He also, Duncan, has a very interesting point that we can declare him as a UK-based player because he was schooled at Fulham. So he
No, I didn't know that.
He came through the Fulham Academy. He's had quite an interesting career up to where he is. He had a loan at Maidenhead United. He had a loan at a few other non-league clubs, and has found himself in Italy. I think that's the second Italian club he's with. I think he was with Brescia prior.
That sounds correct, yeah.
But we could declare him as a homegrown player.
Because Batman obviously came through Stoke was a very similar one.
Correct.
As well.
Yeah.
Correct.
I didn't actually realise about Jordan. No, that's actually quite good to know. I didn't realise that.
Yeah. So that might be something in his favour.
No, I didn't realise that. I think for once we're actually quite healthy on that front. I know some years we've really struggled.
Yeah.
On that front. I think this is one. I think we've actually got a fair amount, so I don't think we're struggling for it. But I think something that is bear in mind as well with our transfers. The more English players you have, I'm abbreviating this quite heavily, the more I think you get more of a leeway with future transfers in the EFL when it comes to then being able to get overseas, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, it makes sense though, doesn't it?
I think you're correct.
Yeah. So I'm going to quickly, I'll let you have your target shortly, Wendover. Just going to touch another one we have been linked with, and that's Mark Travers, who I'm not quite as sold with. And I'll run through that.
I've liked him with the brief times I've seen him come in for Bournemouth, and I think he had a period as number one before they purchased
21-22 when they went in the Championship.
Yeah, Northern Irish, is he, or is he Republic of Ireland? One or the other.
I think Republic, isn't he?
Yeah, okay.
But in 21-22, I know I'm just going to quickly through this. Again, it's a couple of years old. Goalkeepers develop. So he had brilliant shot stopping, even better than Batman. Like we call Batman a good shot stopper, but his season in Championship, exceptional shot stopper, both with the quality faced and the amounts faced. But otherwise, he was quite poor for crosses claimed. Didn't come off his line much. Kicking was quite so. You can see he had the potential there, but was only a very line-based keeper. At Stoke, in his short stint there, you can see he got some development. Kicking got better. Crossing claiming was a lot better. Shot stopping good, but bear in mind this is a smaller data set than a full season, so you have to temper what you're seeing there. Both how you want to read it. You don't want to read it being too positive or negative based on it, but it does show some development there. Okay. So I've got some targets we might go to later, but I'll let you have your say, Wendover.
Yeah, I haven't given goalkeepers a great deal of thought because I didn't think we were going one was going to be on the cards. What I like, and this would be a younger keeper, and he would be to be first choice, is Tickle at Wigan.
He was what I was going to say, yes.
Now, I think he is a very good keeper. He's 23, 24. So if you're bringing him in, I think you're bringing. I don't have his contract situation to hand. I don't know if you can get that up. Bringing him in would be bringing him in as a purchase, and I would imagine a 4 or 5 year contract type of purchase, and hoping that he's our keeper for many years because he's 23, 24. Very good keeper.
Very young for a keeper as well.
Yeah. I'm really surprised. Miles Roberts is 23. Now, if
I thought he was younger.
Soon, you're thinking, well, I know goalkeepers do come late, but, 23 is 23.
But goalkeepers' experience as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the Wigan lad Tico has had England games at under representative level. Whenever I've seen him, he looks a class act. Good with the ball at his feet. Looks like a keeper that's going to play higher.
Remind me of Cooper at Plymouth, actually. Because Cooper, very similar, had a low game for Plymouth at a very young age. I think he came like 18, had 3-4 years experience, if not more. Am I right in saying that? And then obviously had his move from there to Sheffield United, and is one of the leading keepers in the league, which is no surprise to me at all.
Yeah,
we should have signed that Rotherham keeper, to be fair. in the last season. I know we haven't got them.
Yeah, sorry, I know exactly who you mean.
I know I can't think of his name, but
Sorens.
Around that sort of thing. I thought he would have been a really good accuracy.
Yeah.
People say he was in a bad side, but there's a lot of good players that have been in bad sides.
Hansen. He was out of contract. He would have been a great one to get. He would have been.
But when do the Pozzos look at our leagues? A lot of the time.
Well, I did ask that question directly to Gianluca Nani at the last fans forum. I said to him, when you're scouting, do you look at the EFL? Sorry. Firstly, he had to have the EFL described to him of what it was. And then when he was told, yes, the English football, he said, yes, that's where you can get players out of the box and ready to go quicker than get them from Europe and further. But he said they are expensive. And I guess once you hear the word expensive, that turns Gino's ears off. His radar comes straight down.
Doesn't it just?
But I think that's the only reason we don't shop at home is because they're dearer. Another keeper who I've looked at, and I think you get him because of their perilous financial position, is Joel Pereira at Reading.
Not considered.
Now I like him. His contract situation is good, and if you look at his career, he's schooled at Man United, had loans, Rochdale, Hearts, etc., and now at Reading.
Yeah,
and they're a club that will do business because they have got an awful financial cloud over them with their ownership situation,
which is a shame in its own right.
Well, it's a shame, which is a shame. But vultures do, I remember losing Paul Robinson for £200,000 when we had no money.
Yeah. West Brom got him, didn't they?
To West Brom.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it happens.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Well, the thing is, though, everyone's got to capitalise on it. Like you said, with the vultures coming through, if it's a good keeper there, let's look at it. And like you say, they're very hesitant of looking down the lower leagues, which many people would say is the best route. But if they're not expensive, then if there's a chance of a bargain, then there's no reason why not. I'll just shout out a few comments before we carry on. Sorry, boys. Mr. Higgins, evening, mate. Says, hi, boys. Mojo's gone. This group of players ain't good enough to make top six. Ain't going to point fingers. But January transfer is key to how far the Pozzos want to invest. I'll say none. Another mid-table finishes also said, why are we doing stats? Pozzos will not invest. Like your homework, Duncan. He likes it, by the way, though, mate. Ain't going to happen. Bring in the players that want to wear the badge. And obviously, Dunk says, agree. Stats are not everything, but does help identify characteristics you may want and not want. Yeah, absolutely fine. Woody, hi everyone. Says I know an ice cream man that can That cone 10 ice creams in 20 minutes. Sign him up. Good shout, mate. Angela's saying hi. Let's have a look. Can't see the pots they're spending anything. That's from Woody. We only got loan players. Mr. Andrew Argent. Loans from Udinese, most likely. Agree, Woody. No signings will all be loans. I'll wait with bated breath. I mean, I don't care as long as they're players that are hungry, want to prove a point, and will run through brick walls for us. I don't care where they're coming from. That's all I want.
No, I agree. And once we are talking about Reading Football Club, there is a very good up-and-coming centre-back there called Tyler Biden, Bindon, that a number of clubs are in for.
He hasn't been pardoned by the president either, has he?
Now, our name has been linked against him. I think a centre defender will need to be going out to bring him in, and there has been some talk around Porteous.
Rangers in it.
Yeah, Rangers and Hull.
Yeah.
Porteous is a player that splits the room. I quite like him because our team lacks a shithouse. And if he is anything, he is a shithouse. He got a free kick yesterday, which was never a free kick, for falling over and making it look like he was tripped over, which got us a free kick just outside of the box. It came to nothing, as most of our free kicks do. However, I do like Porteous. But yeah, Tyler Biden.
Yeah,
I heard that one. I'd have to do my research on that one. If we're talking about centre backs, the one I want would be Matt Clark, because his contract's up at Middlesbrough in 25. So he's got 6 months left, left-footed, quite good profile, good age. Again, I think if you're looking for ready-made and cheap, because again, 6 months left, Middlesbrough can't demand much for him.
And what has Tom asked for, Duncan? He's asked for plug-in-and-play, championship-hardened players.
And
that fits the bill nicely. That's it.
He hasn't asked for Udinese reserve players.
This is why Matt Grimes, again. I know it's not going to happen, but players like Grimes prove...
We missed that Grimes boat many years ago.
Yeah, no, but that sort of example, of hardened, knows the league, ready, plug-in-and-play player.
That's what I see with Matt Clark if we get him.
Yeah.
Because he's 6 months left, knows the league, plug in play, needs no adaptation. Yeah. So if you're looking for an instant impact player on the cheap, that's one of my go-to shouts.
A good one. I've got a lone one at the back where I think we're light on the left sides, a left wing back, left full back, Harry Toffolo at Forest.
I know the name.
Had a great championship season with Huddersfield when Huddersfield went up, I believe. Done very well with Huddersfield. Did very well at Huddersfield. Now at Forest. Very much on the peripheries at Forest, but an outstanding left-sided fullback stroke wing-back. Harry Toffolo.
What about Dolan from Blackburn? That's from Big Dave.
Don't know him. Don't know if Duncan does.
Which one? I'm just trying to find it.
Dolan for Blackburn.
No, I need to do my research on that one to give you an answer on that.
Oh, Tyrese Dolan. Yeah, Dolan. He's played since 2020. He's 171 games, 18 goals. To this season, he's 21 games, 2 goals. I don't know much about him, to be fair. But he's a winger, quick, nippy winger, 23 years old.
My only thought around him would be if he's in the Blackburn first team, who are fighting in a similar part of the league that we are.
That ain't going to happen then.
Are they going to sell him to us? Let's look at his contract situation.
Yeah, that's why I've been quite careful when talking about players. Middlesbrough wouldn't sell to us typically, but with 6 months left on the table, you can get that leverage. And if
Yeah,
not,
Dave's also saying yes. Toffolo and O'Brien, both class players who played for Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I forgot he played at Huddersfield. I completely forgot about that.
O'Brien's a great shout. Yeah, O'Brien's went to Forest, went abroad on loan, and I think he's coming back to Forest in this window, and he's definitely available. He is another that is a fabulous shout if you're holding midfield player.
Yeah, we need someone like that. We need someone gritty.
Cipriani's the obvious one. We've been linked to him a lot, but other teams seem to be linked now with him as well.
Yeah, apparently Stoke City's the loanee from Liverpool who currently plays for Stoke City, Lewis Kumas, has been being offered out to Championship clubs as well.
Why is he being taken away from Stoke?
I don't know. Apparently they're looking at bringing him into another club. I don't know. This is what I've been looking up. Decent enough player. Apparently he says link with Watford youngster. Apparently he's been linked with us, West Brom and Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Apparently, so they might be looking at moving him on to another club and see how he gets on there. But I haven't seen what he's been like at Stoke, so I can't give much of an opinion there. It's just a few things I've been picking up. Okay. Surprisingly, not from Twitter. Because usually, I mean, you could get a whole 5-hour show from the rumours on Twitter if we really wanted to.
The one I really want to happen, and we've talked about it in I've talked about this name in a number of channels, is Hector Cipriano. Now, Hector has got 6 months left on his Peterborough deal. We bid for him last window, 2.5 million we bid. On the last day of the window, they said no because they were in a promotion fight where they lost out in the playoffs. They're now really struggling actually in League One this season. He will go somewhere this window. He's got 6 months on his deal. I listened to a Darren McAntony podcast the other day when he was talking to Posh fans. He is selling him somewhere this window. Let's hope it is us. Yeah. They call him Hector the Protector.
That's great.
Brilliant. That's great.
He protects that back line magnificently.
That's what we need massively.
He's got a pass on him. He's box to box.
Yeah.
He's the Peterborough captain, which says to me he's a leader. We lack leaders. We lack getting in the ref's ear type of players. Hector the Protector, go and do it now. But, why? We should have done it already. If we were in the last day of the last window, we should have got in for him on the 1st of January. If we want to show intent, that is our man, and that's who we want, go and get him.
Yeah, but haven't we said this for ages? And that's a fantastic shout. And all day long, I'd go for him. I mean, you know much more than I do, but haven't we said this for? I've said this for years as well, and I know you certainly have, and I know Duncan said it in spits and spurts as well. That we like Tom said, he needs players that can plug in and play. But you also, it's a bonus. It's a bonus for the Pozzos as well, because you get young, hungry players that we're bringing in, including this lad, that can give us a sell-on value as well. So in terms of the Pozzo thing, it's a no-brainer. Like you said, he ticks all the boxes. He's a leader. He's a player that we desperately want. And also, if he does well, then if they want to sell him, not that I want him, obviously would want him to go, then he's got that sale-on value as well. So there's no real cons to it. It's all pros as far as I can see.
Yeah,
in that,
it's a no-brainer. He's got sell-on value. He has 18. He has a good 18 months at Watford, and he's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 million to a Premier League club.
Yeah.
Why we're not doing? Why we haven't already done that one is beyond me.
Because I know in the last 2 years. We were in for him last year as well, if memory serves. Not just this year. He's been a long-standing target.
But this is what's frustrating. This is what sorry to interrupt you, mate. This is what's
That's right.
frustrating me. That these players that, like Wendover's saying, he can see it in front of him. These players that can do what we're asking to get from, these players that could take it, better than what we've got, or potentially certainly better than what we got, and it can prove our side. But we're not looking there. This is the thing. This is what we seem to, it ticks every box, and it'd be perfect. It'd probably be the best sign. Like you said, if we're going to make an intent, and Clev wants playoffs, he's made that perfectly clear that his aim is playoffs. Like you said, if we're going to make a statement, this is certainly going to start it off.
You can only buy so many development players. Last window, we bought Caban, Duomo,
Almeida,
and they're for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've got nothing against buying those players because those players could be tomorrow's bar. Yeah. I've got nothing against that. But you've also got to buy players for today and ready to, as Tom says, plug in and play. And that's what this window for me is all about. We've got to get 2 or 3 or even 4 plug in and play players.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no time for development.
Oh, that Al-Hamadi as well. That one you were shouting out.
To be fair, we've got enough to develop as it is. The development team couldn't really take many more.
I think with Al-Hamadi, if you want to move on to the strikers, then if we would move on from
just before we go, let's get on the strikers, mate.
Yeah, Al-Hamadi, I believe, is injured. He's been injured for a long period of this season, which is why he's not featured much for his team. On face value, I'd agree, but again, fitness is a factor, and that's also a consideration. We can't afford to take on another Kevin, who looked good when he's played for Toulouse, but because he's injured now, he has been for 6 months. We can't keep. We have to make sure.
Not buy a player injured. We can't. No.
Yeah. Woody, give us some suggestions then, mate. You're coming on with that. Give us some suggestions for players that we should sign then.
Because the thing is, you have to make sure again. When you're looking at players, as we've been discussing, Woody, it's a case of Wendy, sorry. Fucking hell, we have a name set up. But where we have to make sure we're looking at the contract length. So people are saying it's dream on. But if you get the contract, if you're leveraging a contract, and if you're leveraging your position, it's not going to break the bank. It's as much about the will of the club as more it is about finances. So it depends how much is cleverly going to push for this, because from what I've heard behind the scenes, he's not just a yes man. It might be easy to think that, but from what I understand behind the scenes, he's not a yes man. Actually,
I've heard Duncan is far from a yes man,
and that's really good.
For me, number 9, hardest place on the pitch to recruit for because everybody wants one. I thought there could be something in the Kechi Iniachu situation, but looking at who's in for him now, I don't think we're going to get him. I think I saw Ipswich and somebody else in for him. That ain't going to happen.
No.
No.
I wonder about Will Lancashire at Spurs. Okay, this would be a gamble because he's young. He's 20, I think. Big, strong lads. Holds the ball up, brings others into play. Had an excellent summer tour for Spurs. Played a few minutes this year, but not a great deal. And I think Spurs are bringing extra strikers in. I think they will loan Will Lancashire in this window. Whether he is too raw for us, that would be the question. But as I say, I guess beggars can't be choosers, and he would be better than what we have. The other striker, of course, that comes to mind is our friends over in Italy, is Brenner.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up.
Now, I heard very strong suggestions that Brenner was coming. That's gone a bit colder than it was. But Brenner is a guy that Udinese paid a lot of money for. I think 9, 10, 11 million. He's been out of the MLS, scored a lot of goals at the MLS, came back to Udinese, and has had injuries now, and they've been muscle injuries and they've been hamstrings. Well, welcome to Vicarage Road.
Sign him up then.
We're the place for hamstring injuries. We could do far worse than bring him in.
Because the thing is, I know people will bulk as another Udinese reject, but
I wouldn't say a reject.
This would be. I agree. People think that because, for example, Tikvich has not. I would not say he's been a successful loan for us for Udinese, for example. And
that's being kind.
Yeah, exactly that, for example. But
I'm sorry, but Wolves. Let's have a look. How many players Wolves are buying that were around that price, and they were playing Championship football, so it does happen. And Brentford with Ivan Toney. You know, they played a season with Ivan Toney. And how much was he? Yeah. So, the fees are going up. You know, there is players that are around 10, 11 million playing Championship.
Oh, without a doubt.
And given how much we've sold in recent years, we must be running a fight of some kind. I know a lot of that's gone to debt leverage, but it's been said by multiple managers, not just by Cleverley, by Ismail as well, that there is a war chest of sorts that doesn't seem to be broken into often, but it does exist, and it's quite healthy if we think the target's right. But we very rarely seem to actually leverage it, which I don't like so much.
No.
Because we have had inflated fees for, if you remember, not just Bio, also Hassan Kamara as well. He was very inflated. Among other ones.
But you know, I guess, Duncan, that is one of the beauties having a two-club ownership situation, and I think they all do it. The clubs that they've got multi-ownership, they all move players about within them, and the fees are undisclosed, and they could be. I think we shouldn't knock ourselves for doing that, because it's one of the beauties we have of the structure of our ownership.
Exactly. Right, boys. Do you want to finish off? Anything you want to finish off before we go?
I just like to ask the pair of you. I'm not chairing it. You're the chair.
No. You chair it, mate. Go on.
Yeah.
No, go for
it. How many we bring in? I know. I'll answer the question myself. Who I think how many it should be as a collective. I think it should be a keeper. I think it should be a left-sided defender. I think it should be one or two holding midfield players and a striker. Now, I'm probably asking for too much there, but that's what I think we need. And as earlier on I've said in the discussion, they need to be plug in and play players, ready to roll, and ready for Tom to play in the first team straight away, and stop buggering around. Get on with it, Watford FC.
Yeah, exactly, mate. To go on, Dunk.
So I think I'd say we need 3 players. I'm actually going to forego goalkeeper simply because I want to maximise the funds we have. Between Bond and Miles, Robert Miles, is not the greatest quality, but it's serviceable. I want to focus the money we may have towards outfield instead, because I think we can get by on that. So I'd focus critically on both central midfielder and striker. And I think I'd probably look in getting another winger in, similar to Barr, or another profile similar to, because we don't have enough depth there, because Ince has lost his pace, and we don't really have, I can't think of enough depth up there to help.
You can play Festi there, Dunk, can't you?
I would agree, but recently he's looked really out of sorts. I agree in theory, that's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
So maybe, let's just say 2 then. Central midfield and striker. Focus all the money there that we have, rather than spread ourselves too thin and get some players which are much of a muchness.
Yeah. Go on, Dunk. Finish, mate. Sorry, mate. Go on. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Yeah, I probably agree with you. I'd love to, in a perfect world, I'd have a goalkeeper, centre back, box to box like Wendo was shouting, possibly attacking midfielder, another striker, but it's not going to happen. Basically, the spine. We need to get players. Thing is, we need in terms of quality rather than just quantity, because it's not going to matter. Because if the players are not good enough, it's no point bringing them in. If we're going to bring players in, they have to be either better, as good, or better than what we've got. I know it's easier said than done because we're hardly bathing in money, are we? But yeah, definitely a box midfielder, 100%.
Well, Pidge, comment has just come up. It ain't going to happen. We haven't got any money. We have got money for clever signings, for boxing clever. That's what they've said. They need to box cleverly. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
And they need to, find gems to polish. So there is money available, but there ain't £18.5 million Andre Gray money around to spend anymore.
No, it's mid-table championship money, mid-table to top six championship money at push. Then pretty much. But yeah, that's what I'll go with, boys. Anyway, but right, we're going to close up, guys. Thank you, guys and girls. Thank you ever so much for commenting. You're absolute legends, every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for that. Taylor, see bye. The princess is watching as well, right? Gems are lower leagues. Right, okay,
yeah,
exactly. That's a good shout from Stuart. But yeah, we'll see you next week. I'm doing a late on Sunday, so I won't be able to do a Sunday show. But so we'll be back following week, Saturday and Sunday, as usual, 8 p.m. Massive shout out to Dunk and Wendover. Cheers, boys. Thank you ever so much. Is there anything you'd like to say you want to finish before I go to the outro?
I'm good.
Yeah. See you guys.
See you later.